Okay, so we are at 10:46. Thank you for your patience and good morning, everyone. Good morning to the people here. Good morning. Who've shown tremendous patience of listening to me say hello so many times. I guess my quota of the year of saying hello is over. So good to see everyone. I don't think we should be taking any longer. We can start. So first of all, thank you so much. The last time you all showed up in person was in 2019. That was pre-COVID, and that was the time when we met at the parking lot near the society office. So it's good to see that we're meeting again, though it's a hybrid version, but the idea is to make it more inclusive and more informative to everybody. I see some new faces here, and I see some regular usual faces as well. So thank you so much. Thank you for showing up. This is the first agenda after COVID for the hybrid session. This is a new management committee that we're having. So there are quite a few meetings after COVID that is happening. So a new management committee, new agenda, new venue, and a new audio video systems, right? So for your जल्दी हो गई तो कुछ माफ please. Okay, please bear with us. Right, so before we start, I think I just want to make a mention here that the event of this committee is largely to see whether how can we make our current community more safe, more friendly, and more inclusive. So we've had earlier committees who've put in huge amount of work, of great foundation for this committee to take it forward. So let me just quickly, I hope you're able to see the screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So this is the 14th AGM that we're meeting for. And just request, there are some of you who have not put in your names. It will help us to look at approvals, to look at quorum formation, etc. So please do put in your names. Keep yourself muted, and whenever required, you can unmute yourself. And of course, there are other features which you can see on the slide. Starting with today's agenda. We're talking about the first agenda where we have the chairman, Mr. Hiri Gurte. He will take us to the highlights of the year gone by. We will read and confirm minutes of last AGM, which happened coincidentally on 21st September itself last year. Place the audited statement of accounts for the financial year 24-25. Also ratify the appointment of auditors for the current financial year. We had decided on water meter installation, so we look at getting an approval to finalize what should be the threshold consumption for the society. The next agenda point is on discussing and finding a solution of utilizing existing facilities, which includes the ones that are listed here. Also, similarly, discuss and find solutions in making this society a better, user-friendly place and a much more inclusive place. We've got some increase in number of tenants coming in, number of owners coming in and staying. So the diversity demographic has changed. So hence the proposal. Also, therefore, approve the maintenance charges for financial year 25-26. Also invite volunteers to have more engagement events. This is on popular demand. So make us initiate that poll, which I'm sure you would have seen on the WhatsApp group. And in case there are any other points, with the permission of the chair. We have also received inputs from members, the owners, via email and via conversation, so we can include them as well as part of the discussion today. That is the agenda point. And now we have request Our chairman, Mr. Giri Gupte, come in and share your address, please. Why don't you sit here? That's okay.
Could I request all of you to please stand up to the national anthem before we start? Thank you. For all online meeting, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning and a very warm welcome to this 14th AGM of Madhuban East, which practically means Vidya. We have completed 50 years, so we are entering into our 16, 17, 18. The first 50 years, and we have to take it forward as Sampala rightly said. All credit goes to the previous committee members, the managing committees, and all those who have taken effort to keep this place and maintain this place in such a beautiful manner. All these issues. I'm sure we'll carry on the legacy, what we have been following all of these years, and look forward to the future. In the last 15 years, we have, generally what we collect is about 1.2 to 1.5 lakhs basic and talking per month per year per villa, which is because of almost of about 6 crores of building repair funds plus living plus all put together, right? Am I right? So that is around 6 crores as of now, and going forward for the next 5 years, it will be another 1 crore or so. So we are planning to form an advisory board or advisory committee wherein that committee can have a lot of inputs and plans for the next 5 years, not just 1 year, not just 2 years. We have a broad plan of next 5 years wherein we can plan to utilize our resource monies and funds in the interest of the society and to treat it as best as possible. So that is one thing what we intend to do in the next few months. Secondly, when I say we collect 1.5 lakh basic approximately for the last several years, 50,000, that is 37,500 and 12,500 goes on account of building repair funds and safety funds. So that is not usable. And what we are left with just 96,000 or 1 lakh per villa per annum, which means around 42 lakhs of income for the year. And add another interest part which is accumulated and which is earned to FDs, fixed deposits, which we have in various banks. So that together, that gives us around 52 lakhs, 52 lakhs. And our existing expenses per month is about to the tune of 4.5 to 4.755 lakhs at the most. But important point what I want to make here is, if I mistake not correct me, Vidya and Viren, all these years, Madhuban has never seen 100% occupancy, right? In the last 2 years, we have seen the trend, witnessed the trend wherein the occupancy has gone up to about 60%. But not even that is 24 number today, 24 number today for the last 2 years. But it has never been beyond 80-90% for all these years. So my point for what I'm trying to make here is, consider when I'm talking of a 5-year plan, when I'm talking of advisory committee and board, we are going to consider 100% occupancy, 90% occupancy. And based on that, what would be the output, what would be what would be the requirement of water, what would be the requirement of power, and things like that. So that is one important point what I want to make and put forth. And with that preamble, now let me start with the agenda. Prayers to the departed soul, Dr. Inamdar and Atul's
Excuse
mother.
me, can we have the slides also on the screen? I think what we see is just the title slide so far.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah. Are you able to see the slide now? Because we have changed. What's the next slide?
We are seeing only slide 1.
Share.
I think if you are seeing in the presentation mode, we are seeing it in the regular mode here. Yeah, now we can see slide 6.
Right.
Thank you.
So RIP, Dr. Inamdar and late Mrs. Atte. Next. So yes, as Sampaka already mentioned, we took over on exactly the day, which happens to be the first Tuesday. Sorry, Tuesday after first Monday of November, which is election day in the United States. And on that day, Uncle Trump was also elected, and that evening we were So that was this day, which I think it was which of November, but it was a Tuesday after first Monday of November. Yeah, next. So this was the item which was executed. It was approved during the last AGM. We have installed water meters for all the villas just to measure the consumption pattern and consumption of the water villa wise. So now over the three, I mean, this has happened in the last 3 months. We have data of approximately 3 months actually, with this. So we have the figures, we have studied and we have reviewed the pattern of the consumption of the water and what could be the remedy. Some of the categories are second point of consideration. We will cover this point. Yes.
Okay, I know there is one understand that the slides are not changing. Are you able to see this slide change now?
Yes.
If it's okay with everybody, maybe I will not put it up on presentation mode, so that we can continue with the flow. Is that fine? Are you able to see the slide now? Ease of operation for residents. So let me just show previous two slides first. You just wanted to.
Yeah, now we are able to see the slides change if it is not in presentation mode. I think it's in the extended view mode. That's why it was not showing earlier.
Okay,
Now it's
so
okay. Yeah.
This was November 2024, wherein myself, Sampada and Ashwini, as the chairman, secretary and treasurer and other members, Shashank, Vijay Kapoor and Sujita have taken over from the previous committee. Next. I've covered this installation of water meters. We got it executed this year, which was the item sanctioned and approved during last AGM. Next. We have introduced few items like the rule book or self-declaration form. Then this is the QR code. Self-declaration form basically for the swimming pool usage. There have been an incident in the recent past, where somebody, the guard was on leave and somebody wanted to swim very desperately. And the security was not allowing, but that neighbors, they jumped into the water in the pool. And therefore, they thought of this, and therefore, in such an event, if there is absence of a lifeguard, then one has to declare and one has to declare form. So that is the intent behind introduction of this new form. Next. We have installed a few more cameras across Madhuban to have more access and to cover more area for the better resolution as well. We have also introduced a system of registration of paid servants, those who stay here. So there will be the society office will have the registrations along with the Aadhaar card, passport, police verification, etc. And there was one again event wherein one maid servant was staying in say X villa, wanted to join the owners of Y villa. In such case, what we thought was we should have the AOC of that previous employer, previous owner, so that if that AOC is included, then that maids, those who stay here can always be opted, and then there is no hassle. So it was yeah, there was one NRI also. There was one NRI maid servant, right?
Not Indian national.
Not Indian national. Yeah. I think Nepali. Nepali. So for that also we have. We have installed these dustbin trolleys and we have repaired the walkway tiles, which called for the repairs and replacement of few tiles in the walkway. So this was done during the last year, servicing of the transformer, repairs of automatic panel, leisure automatic panel, then few equipments in the. We have got 2 new motors for the underground water tank. These has more or less been taken care of this item. The STP still we suffer from sometimes sleeping, but there is no alternative for that. Electrical safety audit pictures and report highlights. What we thought is there was one point in the income and expenditure side where the total amount spent on energy bill, MSLE bill was a total of 6 lakhs. And it was compared to last year's 4.5 lakhs. So why was that? Start increasing that. So we tried to identify the reasons, but then we thought of conducting an audit. And therefore, this audit was conducted, and the auditors report and they have not noticed that the occupancy level has increased over the last 2, 3, 4 years, from 16, 17 to now this presently 23, 24, 24 for the last 2 years, consecutive years. And that was one reason. The second reason was the rates of the MSCB itself that has gone up. And thirdly, the solar unit what you used to get that has gone down, right? So that those were the reasons which for the increase in that electricity use for the last year, which was of 6 lakhs, and we are satisfied with that missing, and therefore this audit was conducted, and we have the audit report now, and we will be taking care of each and every suggestion whatever we have recommended to the state. Next. As usual, we have followed this, but we, as Sampath mentioned, that we intend to do it more often or more inclusive kind of thing. So we invite more and more participation from kids. We also intend to add kids and children to the main group of control, so that they are also part of the community. They are part, and they can suggest and they can have suggestions also for such activities. So we require and we invite the volunteers to all this program. Say for instance, somebody has to arrange a karaoke night here or a movie night here or something of that kind. Somebody has to take progression and then organize everything. We are with you and we will be with you. Apart from that, we will be having such a program, say the next 3 months and following last quarter of the current financial camp February likewise. So we have probably a timetable for it once we decide which activities we are going to conduct and organize. So this is Holi, Ganpati, 15th Independence Day, 15th August, 26th of January. Then fortunately we have Mr. Ravi with us, and we are extremely proud of you, sir. Mr. Ravi Kulkarni was interviewed by Guru Sayadri Channel for his contributions in his area of work. So congratulations and we're proud of you. Then we have new member Keur Godse and Dr. Ashwini Mahajan. She has conducted the eye health checkup camp for our staff. So thank you, Dr. Ashwini. Thank you so much. Then we have two virtual sessions. One conducted by Aditi. Thank you, Dr. Aditi Namda, once again for conducting this virtual session on snakebite and basic first aid, which I think happened last this one only. And one more session we had on rainwater harvesting conducted by an expert, Mr. Vivek Bauer. There was good response for all upon these initiatives, right, Rohan? So, welcome Keur and Dr. Ashwini Mahajan. These are the new members of family, of Madhuban family. So I think that was the major broad highlights of what we've done and what we've not and what we intend to do over the year and over the years, I would say. So main thing, what the point which I brought to notice was the occupancy level. It has always been 60%, 60%, 50%. We have to think when it comes to 100%, what could be done and what needs to be done. I think whether that competition will go up or if we replace that on the so a lot of competition researches. And thank you, Viren. I got your notes. I could not respond to the email, but thank you for all those notes and those inputs you have gone into our presentations and something will take us through. So I'm sure it will be addressed. We have to take a very, very positive manner and a constructive manner. And it is under consideration. It is a favorable positive consideration. So thank you for that. And thank you everyone. Your open session is there after Sankara's presentation. So feel free to ask anything, feel free to suggest anything. We're more than happy to address each and everything from very, very openly and very, very privately. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Derek. And yeah, one more round of applause for all our committee members, right from Vidya, who was the starting one, and then Dr. There was a starting. Yeah. Okay, so we have Sandhya and Jasper. Sandhya also joined us here. Sandhya, you to Vidya, to Atul, and the entire managing committee members that we try up here, and there will be some more who would have joined us online. So thank you so much, and a big round of applause. So 14th AGM is not easy to go by the kind of constructive inputs that each member has come with. Let me move on to the second agenda point. The minutes of last AGM have already been circulated, so let's read and confirm the minutes, the elements of last meeting. There is one point which I would just like to bring to notice here. In the schedule F on current assets, there was an advance showing of 7 families, which was meant for cleaning of the walls, the villa walls, and silicon. Now, this service was taken by us and it has been completed. Somehow it got missed out from the last balance sheet and it was still showing. So, in the revised one, it has been expensed out the payment following. Just wanted to put it up on this here for proper records. So may I request a proposed and a second of this agenda on please. Who would like to propose this agenda? Okay. Okay, so that's Mr. Rahul and unit number 9. Welcome. I don't think we have met, but we see something fixed as well. Thank you. So let's propose who's seconding. Okay, we have Ravi seconding it from unit number 5. Okay, should I move on to the next one? Okay, this is. So, this is the slide on what was being approved last year as part of AGM. An expense of 5 lakh rupees was achieved. With taxes, it is 5.9 lakhs. However, we took a decision that we will not go for electronic meters, we will go for mechanical meters. As a result, 1.8 lakhs was being spent. So there's a saving of about 4 lakhs, which is being there. And the work is being completed. That's the status. So the next agenda point is on placing the audited statement of accounts for financial year 24-25. Can I request somebody to propose this agenda?
Yes.
So Vidya, unit 29. Proposing it, seconding it. We have the chairman of the last year's, the first and second chairman. Update is seconding it. Unit number 19. I hope my place is okay for all of us to join online. Just a confirmation will help.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The next point is on audit observations. It's a similar point, which is wanted to make it clear. That in terms of observation, there was just one point which was addressed differently this year. This was on education fund. We had, last year, we did use the education fund for fire safety, awareness sessions. After the AGM, this time, this fund has been taken care of. Sessions have already been conducted. One was rainwater harvesting and the saving of snake bite. So this has been taken care. However, as far as fire safety is concerned, that awareness session is being planned, short, coming on. Hold on. Okay, stop for this point. There is one more point, which is collection of nomination forms. So while we have received from 27 members, there are still 14 members whose nomination forms are pending. I think multiple follow-ups have happened. Urge you to please look into this. It is in our own interest to make sure that the nominations for our beautiful property that we have in do exist. So there will be another round of follow-up email coming from Robin. But let's probably respond to this and close this if possible by this month end. Can I request an okay from all of you, maybe or observe something? Just to confirm that yes, this point will be closed because this is a repeating point coming up every AGM. I don't think this is such a strongly technical point which requires so much of manpower and time to be able to. Can I just request a thumbs up from everyone that yes, this will be done? Something else. We can because in drafting something, if they don't nominate and someone dies, what can be the consequences? I think maybe that is scary because this has been done for 14 years. Now, this is very present. So maybe, something you can tell them that what can happen in their property. I think at least that can be a way up for. If not, so there's a suggestion coming by the next communication that will come from Robin to all these 14 pending members will include what are the consequences if nomination forms are not filled. Right? Dire consequences. Hopefully, that should serve the purpose. Moving on to the next agenda point, which is ratify the appointment of auditors for the current financial year. Last year we had appointed auditors, Rohan and Madhuban, a certified auditor, and we wish to continue with the same. We can have somebody proposing this. Okay, Shaya's proposing, Shaya's in unit number 1. And we have Vita today, Second agent, unit number 11, unit number 1. Okay, going to the next item, which is proposed expenditure for the current year 25-26. When we listed, we did a lot of vetting along with some members who are outside of the management committee. And with that vetting, we have come up with 3 kinds of expenditures. One is how do we use our existing facilities to be utmost. So there are some gaps in some flaws that we need to correct. And the second is how do we make it much more user friendly and mindless, such that that we increase the community, more and more number of confidence in the society. As a result, the total expenditure that we listed down was the tune of 55 lakhs. Of which we felt that this agenda item of water fountains at the entrance, given the water situation that we are currently facing, that can be a deferred cost. And therefore, we're looking at these 2 expense items of 32 lakhs and 16 lakhs, which we plan to pull out. Let me move to the item which has been circulated as 3 points as part of 15. Water meters, as the name already mentioned, have already been installed. Now the point was how do we make sure that there is a threshold? We studied last 3 months data, so we arrived at some statistical average. We also looked at what is the current capacity of water tanks that we have, and we looked at those numbers also. So looking at these 2 items, these 2 data points, we're proposing a threshold of 11,000 liters of water consumption per villa per week. This 11,000 liters includes servant waters as well. So typically we have seen that there is a 9,500 liter for the villa and 1,500 liter for the servant water. That's how it's coming to 11,000 liters of precious. Now what happens if there is an overconsumption? So these readings are taken on a weekly basis. Whichever villa will have an overconsumption of water, there would be a report, weekly report shared with that respective villa. So that the idea is water meter serves as a lag indicator for us, which tells us in advance that okay, if I'm likely to overconsume, I should check the water consumption pattern accordingly. That is the whole intent. So make it more encouraging and more responsible water consumption rather than make it more restrictive. That is the whole idea. So let me just pause here and here up in case you have any views here, else we go for proposing and say down here. Once is it fair to have a villa should keep up plans, because a villa which has 2 people and those servants, their consumption should be less. So why don't we build the bags? Including servants.
So maybe yeah, it's basically a lot of times on which this depends on that.
For the sake of other communities, we can do
Okay.
For the sake of everybody else, there's a point that I mentioned, instead of opening hours in 4 villas, why don't we use consumption, track consumption per person? Because some villas have 2 people and some have 1. Yeah, today is a situation.
I had one more point here.
Yeah.
I mean, fine, slightly 11,000 is really one consumption. But if what this is that, is there an average of GMC, for example, of GMC or some people knows about it, or really usually consumption pattern. In the 3 months, it might not be that, is that that's the last 3 months, but in summer it might be much more. So I'm just saying, is there a better way to get a logical consumption or whatever? As there's proportional also. So combining these 2 factors, we can take the right number that we enforce.
Right. Thank you so much for raising this. See, yeah, at least there are various factors on this event. Why not the person? Consider our family, we have 3, right? Pet dog is not here now, rest of last 3 months is one of the farmers. But there are villas and owners where there are pets, number 1. The number of servants also vary in the servant jobs, right? So how are we going to calculate per person consumption in that in those places. Therefore, we thought, let's start with this, let's start this with the first scale, and then we can watch and have more inputs and more, feasible and practical proposition to address this point. Right? That was already motive. And for instance, I don't know whether you have the made service. We don't have the made service. So
We are the paid service.
okay, those that is the point.
No laws, no. Okay, that's also, it's absolutely.
Absolutely. So it's very difficult to, calculate and then which leads to arguments. So instead of that, we got the starting with what we got model.
Yeah,
And go ahead. Right? Now, coming back to your next point, we had about the 11,000 how it visual has arrived at. I think some of we please explain to me.
So the question was, how does this 11,000 liters arrive at? So, there are three approaches that we do. First approach was look at last 3 months data point, was that is the only data point which was measured. And as I said, it came to 11,000 rupees, 9.5 for the villa and 1.5 for the the second data point was we how much capacity of water we have. And when we did the math of dividing it into the residents and apartments and all that, it basically comes to 12,000 liters. Okay. So the 11,000 can be made to 12,000. But the third aspect was the authorities. The question being, what the suggestion was there an authority which can help us? So the only authority as far as water goes is PMC. As in PMC, there's a 135 liters of water per person per day, right? When you do the math, it comes to about 6,000 rupees. That means 6,000 liters of water per person per day. Or per day, right? Versus 11,000, which is what is being used. So, as per PMC standards, it is 6,000 liters per villa per week versus our today's average consumption is 11,000 liters per villa per week. Looking at our water tank capacity comes to 12,000 liters per villa per week. This is where we stand. What is possible is 6,000 liters. What we consume is 11,000 liters. Yeah.
One question. Since our capacity is really all the from the animal visit, it is on ups and downs. So we might like to catch from the lower in summertime, I'm sure with special conditions, you might be getting less water. So we might like to select that as a parameter to decide what will be the solution.
Yeah, so the lowest has been 19.5 meters. And that's what we put it as. The lowest is actually 9,000 liters. The range is wide, so therefore the average comes to 9,000.
This data may have only from last 3 months, just got installed last quarter, right? So probably next year we'll have more figures and absolutely. So these are based on last 3 months pattern of consumption.
What Ravi's trying to say is that the consumption per month impact also on what is the water available from PMC. Like in summer, maybe you get less water, and your consumption is higher. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, so either ways, there is some big deviation. Cyclical what you're saying is right, but Ravi's point is that cyclical consumption. So when we look at the basic minimum average and then inflate that as a consumption pressure, right? That was just one. So we will definitely do that because now we have to wait to measure water consumption. However, the deviation is typically the water PMC water supply and some of the is noise. That is where we have highest number of water samples. Now, given that distribution, we have to make a big in some. So as a ballpark figure, looking at averages, we're looking at 6,000 PMC homes to last, 11,000 are current allocation, 12,000 is our capacity. We thought let us begin with 11,000 as a reservation threshold for us to begin with. To all those villas wherever there is an overconsumption. There were two options when we were considering. Should we do a portion of tanker charges to villas on a monthly basis? Or should we do it on a yearly basis or a quarterly basis, right? Whatever the figure is. And we realized that there will be times when I have overconsumed on the 29th of the month. And from the 30th of or first of the next month, there has been water tanker procurement happening. There have been many times when we realized that there has been some irresponsible water consumption also water taps being left open less. So in that case, in order to be fair to everybody, we are proposing that annually, whatever the water tanker charges that is portion, proportionately, distributed to all the ones who are overconsuming. That was the logic. Or you can give them, if someone has used 5,000 more, someone has used 10,000 more, someone has used just 2,000 more, yeah. So a proportionate ratio will get back. There's someone who has been out of town for 6 months, and another 6 months if they are in town. And somewhere they are used to this 1,000 more. Then would you think that the people saying that they were not here for 6 months, so now 1,000 by right? That cash number doesn't. Second,
But obviously, we have this later reading by something to do with
Overconsumption should be not improved. Overconsumption we are informing every week. Every week we are.
Weekly consumption will be compared to.
Overconsumption inform weekly. That portion of the unit owners will be aware. And if any action is to be taken, it will be.
I think instead of 24, I suppose start charging monthly on the monthly basis.
Monthly, the amounts are bit small, like. So you really cannot charge. Correct. So you are really penalizing us. Which is very for what that. Yeah. So therefore it has to be done per month. So whoever, like for example, even if you spend 1,000 rupees on water tanker, whoever has said any conforming that is the person has been whatever you are deciding has to be very clearly communicated and signed off. Because obviously, government will be doing this only over. They are trying to find out fancy bar, medical. So, like, for example, can we do this if contractors have started from October? I think October has consumed. We create a proportion charge. Then, of the October tankers, we will get charged No, in fact, the simpler way, if you don't mind, you see in October how many people were there and just divided by the people vessel. The people who are not staying should not be penalized. The people who are there, including servants, you count when you are listening. So, for example, if you have got 10 people plus 5 servants, okay, 15, why should they get off easy? Because they should be penalized on easy. So what we should do is take the water tank and use charges, divided by the number, and you just say something to the language of the people.
I have a question. Suppose you have administration there. What happens in monthly charges? In the following month, July, you drop down the reduction. The person doesn't get the benefit of the living just in the following, which gets covered in an average calculation of the year. So how are you going to be playing with the charge in the month?
What if the actually is, you pick suppose 11,000 you have decided per week. About 11,000 you will spend.
Yeah, that will be.
How many liters into some one people?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Collecting increase. Or some sort of that. We have to show it on the books. Yeah, and again, in case it doesn't show. I'm not sure of the consequences for that. Yeah. Let us also, there was a electricity outage, so let us also include people so the suggestions were should be approximately the amount of overconsumption on a weekly basis, quarterly basis, or yearly basis. That is where the suggestions, where the suggestions coming from there. So let me hear you out, those who are there to join the society. What are your views there? The proposal,
So it's basically 11 Indian fund is the lower consumption. We think it's 6 is the lower consumption. So makes sense on the annual level.
see the monthly of the charge, see monthly and for the follow we have to pay. Because the charges will be 1,000 rupees, 1,500 rupees. So for that following up the member is very difficult. Because already we are suffering for the maintenance charges. We need to really follow for few unit owners to pay the maintenance charges or the interest on the maintenance charges. Still, every time we struggle with that point. So following up for time the charges, we will go hike them for whoever is part of the
Charge monthly. Need to pay your primary convenience, but let them know every month, whatever you been discussed. Only charge everybody who are as per the meter, who have consumed extra, and in that month, respect to time thoroughly. You don't mix it with DMC. So in a month, I'm just giving an example, say DMC instead of 11,000 is 15,000. They use that. That is not going to be considered and this is when you all use it more. Don't use that for consumption. Only take your tanker charge in a month and apportion that to the people who spend who consume extra. And give them every month. And then you charge them to if they ask for payment quarterly, half yearly, yearly, whatever is it. Shall be fair.
Shall we consider the overconsumption or should we apportion equally?
No, overconsumption on the respective villas. Yes, if I, as somebody likely said, I'm not in my villa right now. I might be extra, if I'm not consuming extra, I'm using the water now, use your meters fairly, only for the people who use the water, charge them, they also appreciate it.
So, for that, you give the thing as that.
Based on I would suggest that you take the first year flipper and use that as a basis. So just essentially to data and then you what it will be. No, I have a question. Suppose if you charge 50 basis, a certain device what is it? In the following example, there's not even the true value possible. As it get very flat. That's the point of one example. And otherwise, it doesn't have the same level of X.
So, the question is that if I have over consumed this month, then next month I have under consumed, do I get a credit? Unfortunately, we are not talking about PNC water consumption. We are talking about charging for the tankers which we are using, right? Because we're not allowed to charge anybody on PNC water consumption. It is the tanker cost that needs to be apportioned and uniformly distributed.
I have said the same. Invisible norm of PMC regulations and norm and everything. Anything about that, we will distribute the factors other include and the basis for the consumption is. If it says 6,000, if he has consuming every week 9,000, 8,000, 11,000, 15,000, whatever the actual charges on road rate is usually distributed. Then you be considering.
So the suggestion is that as per PNC standard, 6,000 is the possible limit for without the week. The suggestion is all those who consume beyond 6,000 rupees, the tanker charges on an annual basis should get apportioned. Which will happen to everyone. Because the benefits are going beyond, yes, right, and apportioned.
So the factor charges is distributed proportionate
The
basis.
other suggestion just coming up is charge people on a monthly basis, collected on an annual basis. That's what we are saying all this collection, there is not for PMC work. It's only annual cost. For example, if we have the threshold, we are saying is 11,000 liters for example a week. And my consumption this month happens to be 3,000 liters, which is in excess of 4,000 liters, then I should be charged as at the rate of 4,000 rupees into per tanker cost. Right? Now the tanker cost varies with every season. Right? Tanker cost ranges from say 25 paisa per liter to 75 paisa per liter. Right? It varies. So it's a 3x cost. So the suggestion is that I should be charged for that, for tanker cost for that month. I should be charged on that. Collection can happen under the year basis. However, the problem is that that month, I may have, as a single bill, I may have overconsumed, but I may not have asked for a tanker. Okay, in that case,
You want to get FC is not charging for.
PFC is not charging for.
If there is no water tanker use, there is no problem.
And that is where you will have, it will not be fair on people who are using within the limits and throughout the year versus where there are spikes. And that's the reason in order to be fair, the proposal was, we take it for the year, all those who have used at the rate of the tanker in terms of option. Then there are no questions asked as to why and why not me. There was another scenario which was being looked at for the benefit of those who joined virtually. That what if I am under consuming, what if I over consume? Or what if I'm not there for 6 months and I'm there for the remaining 6 months? The 11,000 threshold that we have taken is based on our current consumption. We are not saying on reduced consumption at all. So what is our current consumption? The way our lifestyle is today, we continue to the same lifestyle. It's just that let's be wary of the overusing water going forward. And water meter will just give us that pattern, out consumption pattern. Are you planning to survey the names of people who overconsume? The question is, are we planning to survey the names of those who are overconsuming? Yes, we are not planning to survey optically. But that aspect is going on a weekly basis for overconsumption people. So that they know. The idea is, like I said, it is not restrictive. We are not talking about restricting our water consumption. The idea is responsible behavior. And not that those who are over-consuming are irresponsible. That is not the point. The point is, let me say, on oversight, some things have like tax remain open, or some situations have. The idea is if we can educate and be more aware, that's all. That's the only after the suggestion here, people will leave tabs off. Okay, I think this gas is going on. Okay, or why should others suffer? Because it's something. So you should wear it. And you decide whatever everybody feels is a fair penalty. But if you have by mistake or whatever has happened, you've done it. Sorry, the others suffer because of you. So you have to get penalized. Because what happens is you don't know that the tag is being left off. Robin cannot get the tag the next second. Everybody is suffering because of this. Please start penalizing for people who are vacancy living tax and it happens quite often. So do that. Decide how to penalize. This is over and above whatever water tank you're posing. To add to a point, tanks are generally from the commerce where there's a monastery. The way to run work with the tanks also. Those people don't consume water. So at the end of the month also, their consumption will be less. But in spite of the water needs lower. And then we can represent the others of penalized. One point. That. Second point is how much is the PMC allows per person water consumption per month. So calculate that. Because what I say is in my house there are 4 people. In someone else's there are 2, someone else's there are 8. Yeah. So the people that are 8 people, if the PMC allows them to use more than 11,000 liters of water, and they are paying the taxes, they can tell we are legally allowed it if we are 8 people, what can you charge? Should take the point into consideration. Sure. Just to make sure everybody on the line is with us. The suggestion is that there are some houses which have 15 workers transfer PMC the approximately implementing. Yes, but there are houses which are not. They may argue that why is it that we are not very honest with common, right? Now, if you see the PMC policy limit 6,000 liters for villa for PMC gives it per person. So that is 1.5 liters per person per day. Yes. Yeah. Now, if you see 6,000 per villa versus 11,000 is our consumption, that is almost 3x. Right. The maximum number of people we have currently are 9 in one villa. You look at the numbers of residents. Occupants are 9, which is where 11,000 liters of water is consumed. Going by PMC numbers, right? For 19. Now that is something which is made available to everyone. Despite that, if I overconsume, then should that not be compromised? That is the only thing. The other suggestion is there are people who are not over-consuming, but they are giving their tax off, or their houses are empty, their maids come and leave the tax off, or their water tanks, storage tanks are overflowing, all of this happens. Well, that will be the next step. But practically it is very difficult for us to manage it at the level, which tax are open, not open. Many times it is a post-mortem that happens after the loss of the manager is done. So it's difficult to practically execute that, but definitely quite know it. They need to be penalized. We need to keep that in mind. But as a beginning, what we're proposing is can we start with 11,000 as a threshold? Yes. On a weekly basis, just for up to the individual villas. And on a yearly basis, approaching the annual cost. That would be easy to execute from an execution standpoint. Of course, there will be many areas which we will need to improve upon, and as we go along from it's a good start. It's a good start. So let's start here.
And one question, this is pottery, but not on the tanker or the more positive. We are first of all my question, and can we build extra tank capacity? Just basic for our current tank, there is an idea about the locus place. There's so many places that we could add. That adding, but I think that whenever there is an extra flow of PMC water, it captured there. So that was that is fresh water compared to tanker water. To be saved enough time.
If you lay harvesting there, you can do something. I personally feel that tank, make a smaller tank, keep it for emergency, don't even use it. Rather than using the tank for water, you can use that water whenever we have an emergency. So you limit it to 11,000, whatever you're doing. But this extra tank water will get us connected you can get ABC, and we seem to have nowadays more than 6 months of it. So let's do that, and then at least we use that instead of water, instead of water. Sure, for the benefit of everybody online, the suggestion can we increase our land capacity, we have space, can we have more water storage tank? And the second is can rainwater harvesting help us going forward? So definitely as far as land capacity is concerned, I think we over way above the permissible limit. So I think increasing tank capacity could be a red flag for us at this juncture. But point taken, rainwater harvesting in a tank there is a fantastic idea. And that's something we will definitely explore. That was one of the reasons why this awareness session was conducted last week for rainwater harvesting.
If I remember, sorry to take a point, I was right in the tank capacity was increased, it's already over the limit. We already today. I think going for super red flag, what would happen? I think so. It's not like.
So now the discussion happens with them, of fairness. So the capacity of 1,70,000 is I think it's a red flag beyond the case. What will happen if we overdo okay, I think that's an area at this juncture. I don't know whether we should say that or right now, given that the party which so I think in possibility of time. Can we have on 11,000 as a base?
Yes.
We have a data.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a very good point. We have data on actual water consumption and the number of factors. So the actual water consumption, as I mentioned, is 11,000 into the villas. So that is per village. This is all villas.
We have
which are using water for regular. So that data is what
we have figures for all 40 units.
and it's also.
The last 3 months.
Now, as far as water tank usage is concerned, we have spent 56,000 last year rupees on 28 water tankers. This is what the data says. So assuming that the same pattern continues this year, we're talking about approximately 56,000 rupees to over consuming bills.
That is figure is important. That's 6 times.
So
What is the free water?
can I get an approval for set proposing for the water? So there is proposing, but let me just pause and also ask people online any point that you would like to table or has it already been covered? As far as water meter.
Yeah. I put some comments in the chat, but I'll repeat again, right? So the 12,000 unit is as per 12,000 per unit is as per total number of units or only the occupied units? Total number of units. And 11,000 is based on only the occupied units?
That's also.
Okay.
And the 6,000 for villa permissible amount is also.
Okay, sorry, we missed it.
Sampata, can you give a simple example of what happens if someone overconsumes on an annual basis or whatever method we are using?
Assuming that 11,000 is what we all access to. And my villa consumes 15,000 liters per week, right? So there is an excess of 4,000 liters of water consumption by my villa. So how do we do? Okay. Now the amount which will get apportioned for the 4,000 liters of excess water will be done at the rate of water tank charges per unit. Supposing water tank charges per liter is 50 paisa per liter of water. Then 4,000 into 50 paisa will come 2,000 rupees. Is what we will be charged to me for that. That is how the calculation will come. The minutes is this calculation so that you have no arguments about it. Is that clear?
And this is reconciled at an annual level, right?
Yes, so while capturing data will happen at a weekly level, the villas will be stored in case of consumption. But apportionment of charging will happen at annual level. Of the total animals that we have taken divided proportionately to the respective villas.
Yes.
That is
So what happens at the company average?
I do not even see everybody say it's any question.
And then otherwise more occupancy damage, which is reduce it to 10,000. Yeah, 10,000 rates of something such. Because today the advantage of non-occupancy, the water consumption of 10,000 is being removed with the rest of the residents here. You will be more than level of it. Because they are utilizing non-occupancy people's allocation.
So, what Vivek has mentioned on the chat is, otherwise, meter will show excess consumption per villa, does not matter how many people consume that. So per villa, 11,000 is what our current average is, irrespective of how many people are inside. So in some villas, we have 2 people, in some villas, we have maximum 9. In the villa, right? So there are most houses actually are falling within 11,000. Barring some outliers, which are over the zone. Does that help?
Yes, you got it right. Right. So the meters are anyway going to show which villa has consumed, and we are calculating at villa level. So it does not matter how many people are consuming it, whether it is 2 people consuming whole lot of water because maybe the tap is open, or there are 8 people and they have, judiciously used the water and consumed less. Either way is okay. Right.
See, because we have to make a beginning somewhere, and whatever is most
Correct.
consistent for us. What we do. So what's what this is that correct. Yeah, and I think the positive, I'm going to say one last. And yes.
So the average is 11,000. If you remove that, not villas, and then average, the average will be much higher. So tomorrow when they offer the villas, residents come and stay. Now this 11,000 will be not valuable. So you have to take this average of 11,000 from that and start charging them over at a base level. As you bring the ballpark figure for that reason, allowance of the population which doesn't start. You want to enhance it to 8,000 and 9,000, but fix it somewhere. This 11,000 is a probability of achieving that no more residents are going to come, which is highly wrong. If you are about houses Sunday or the they will come start consuming one.
This 11,000 is actual, so what is one of the figures that we look available for the last 3 weeks. So that figure is right now based on these actual data. As you rightly said, let's observe for this to the next 9 months to the first year and decide more.
Again, the 7,000, when people come in, is going to change it drastically. But somebody asked about credit for underconsumption. That will be, it's like traffic. There is no credit for falling traffic.
Okay, I think that we will take stances forward. We are starting with 11,000. Should there be any change with more data we have to do all of these. So we have Viren who's proposing the agenda. Who said it? So Abdul is proposing and Viren is second. Okay, let's move to the next point. Thank you to everybody who joined virtually for your patience. Okay. Okay, are you able to see the screen on the field online?
Yes, it came back. We are on slide 5. Agenda 5 is what I'm seeing.
We are moving to the next agenda, which is
Yeah.
agenda. Now, this is really the existing facility that we have. It's been how many years since we started? 15 and more years that celebrate 20 years that the society is in existence, and there are some facilities which fortunately did not require to launch repair and maintenance, but now time is found. So what this agenda point is saying is that we need to look at repairing of swimming pool, repairing of having changing rooms, etc. Such that the facility is better utilized. So swimming pool, for example, the lines have chipped off, there are chips as the flooring and not lines. So the chips are coming out. As a result, it's causing injury to people and from the safety as a point of view, it is very important that we address this point. So therefore, what we're proposing is changing the flooring of the swimming pool and not having replacing the chips, because it's an expensive proposition, not very easy to maintain. So replace it with slides. We've done some kind of ready and benchmarking with other facilities, and that seems to be much prevalent now because of these issues. The cost coming for a swimming pool flooring is about 18 lakhs that you see here. The other thing that we're proposing is as far as swimming pool is concerned is changing rooms. We have changing rooms here which are not being used. What is being conveyed to us, we spoke of the people, and we told that currently there is only one entrance to the changing rooms for men as well as women. So if we break it into separate entrances for men and women changing rooms, and make it more lit and easy to access, then it will be a much safer and who's giving you that? Was so shy about having separate changing room entrances. Trust me, from day one, not anyone except that Samantha. Except Samantha, I don't think anyone has changing. And this is not because anybody is shy. I think this is just extra culture. Separate entrances for men. Then for your eyes. This is what basically please have change swimming pool times. That's but changing your this. Then someone will say that guy from there is thinking at us. Then he should be looking for the chance. Watchman is looking at us. So please don't face that. You just swimming pool times. Whatever it is not, the bathroom is not working, or the showers are not working, that please do not have to entrances. So the suggestion coming in is we are Rohan Madhuban residents. There's nobody who's so shy that they can't use single road. The suggestion is that changing room doesn't seem appropriate, but would like to hear from more. And swimming flooring definitely requires. Here is a picture. This is for swimming pool, and this is a picture for the changing room. If you see here, this is the changing room area with one entrance only. Once you go inside, there's men and people with changing room. The proposal is that we have two separate, one for men and women, and the pathway becomes more lit. It's fully tied, so it's easy, feeling safe and accessible. So we've already heard one suggestion coming in.
Since you asked one, some people say anything goes in, and this is what's privacy, just put outside, doctor says often why. Like possibly that some changes and comes out. Next person goes in.
Why should I wait for 10 minutes?
Oh. So,
Any comments on the swearing line?
Yeah, oh, sort of clarity.
The shout is a shout. It's also shout. Will be not just remain the balance of
This is far.
yeah, all the way because of that. It's shy about all the but what I hear people saying here is outer shot, okay, changing the number. This is one of the sentiment here. Can we hear the people who joined online? I'm sure those who joined online who come in and use the swimming pool occasionally.
Definitely having the swimming pool updated makes a lot of sense. It seems to be used more frequently, right? I have not used the changing room anytime. Not so frequent, swimmer there. But the pool definitely seems to be a good idea, right? So no comments on the changing room from my side. I'll hear out the people who are more frequent users there, right? If they feel it is a uh, shortcoming, right? If we need an additional room or swap the room from generic to male and female separated.
Okay, yes, Peter.
So this very cool tennis is changing the design. See right now it is really the steps don't allow it fully like fully, but in one point and if frequently we hit our leg also or bend our legs to scare only. So it's quite can we change the design of the swimming pool provide at least half of the area below steps. So for people who are walking, obviously it has to be there.
Yeah, definitely. So suggestion is that Justice Brennan has some area. So if we change the plan, then we have steps, then we have more area. So I think what we will do is in principle I know that changing the floor lighting is necessary. As far as changing the design is concerned, if there is no excess, too much excess of waterproofing and all those expenses coming, we would definitely but we take an expert advice now. But you need the steps. Yes, the other ones are very dicey. That's what I was saying. He is recruited in this summer. It has to be done. The COVID season because otherwise the water the lines also start to find. So I went into the issue.
So I'm not saying they will be for the entire building.
Fine, don't take it. So, flooring not to be removed, definitely no. But if there is no space created, rather than it for the steps, definitely we explore that when you take explore advice. And the suggestion is let's not do the repair work in, let's not operate at too many school operation. Let's have the tool available during summer situations and winters next if we can get that. Who can I have proposing this? So Kira, the most recent user proposing it and say 1 minute. So unit second. Great. So silence from the online audience is considered as alignment. There is another point which we have taken on as part of agenda number 6 is water pressure tanks. Now, Water pressure tanks are essential and they are unfunctioning now. They have not been changed and there's nothing there until now. So they are dysfunctional now, so we need to change them. I don't think we have a choice here. But because of the amount we that is part of the idea. So this is going to be costing about $100. This is what we will go ahead with. The other point is car wash area. Now, near unit number one, there is a clearing. There are pictures here. This is the area near unit number one. So I can start car wash area. It's earlier the car was going to be used to wash cars. But given our water consumption levels, we're not proposing car wash areas. Pipes and sit-up can be removed. However, this area is required because whenever there's a renovation or any kind of work happening, there are vehicles coming inside and bringing space to the right? And that is where it is currently used and because of the tiles, the nature of tiling, etc. that is done, the very there is very high. So what we are proposing here is no car washing to be allowed, of course, because of water issues. But to use the make flooring as a service flooring, which will be a common from last week and perfect for the kind of mystery that they are.
You say it's only for turning schedules around.
Yes.
So you're spending that on this, right?
Yes, I think it was.
If you want to say it is the worst.
Why we spending $2 and one more thing is every managing company has tried to very heavy. Trust me, it doesn't work. Rather than that, give it a beautiful garden and get the demo driver students are safe. Why are we spending 2 lakhs on big guidance very great, 100%
Well, we're not spending, what we're proposing is 3 days, and what we have in parking. And it's 3 days, 3 days.
Why spending only for if it's only for 10 more?
No, it's not only for many, because there are quite a few Ola and Uber cabs also who we say that, so we see that they often come until the 8 and they turn there. So that is one, and it's very shabby as of now, extremely shabby.
There is something to actually, even on like coming in. Before seeing any car, there's so many car parks.
Yes, imagine a tractor coming in, tractor pulling out all that stuff which is better than the place to be taken out. So tractor can't take the reverse flow, tractor will along with the trolley.
So some money, yeah. I think that right, yes, it's for partners, it was not us, even if it's small buckets. So water, there is a purpose smoke in that one. So he literally had the water.
Guys, it's not very clear. What is the proposal in place of the car wash area?
See, the car wash area remains the same. But currently it has been replaced over years with different kinds of tiles. Sometimes sometimes some other tiles, and it breaks. Because that area is used for turning around by 10 by cars, by cabs and so on. So that, right? So what is saying is instead of tiles, we put trimmings there. Trimmings is
Sorry, guys, unable to hear because there are too many sounds in parallel.
For the sake of online, I'm just reading to the notes without the value of the So just give me a second. So are you able to hear me now?
Yes, now I can. Thank you.
So, car wash area, currently is starting with cars or any different forms of stylish in the past. The usage is currently where is done because we have tempos and trucks and roller cab, etc. coming. They use that for running around, etc. The tractors coming in, so the usage is enough. As a result, those tariffs break. And currently it's not in good proper condition. So we need to repair that. Now, the proposal is we use trimmings as a material for leveling that area. Trimmings is a material which is currently used in parking areas. So the longevity of that material is high. Thus will not require one-time expense, will not require yearly repair and maintenance. What
Got
the
it.
other-
Very clear. Yeah.
The other thing we're saying is that the area should not be used for car wash because people need the pipes open and water issues come up. However, there's another point which is being put up by the company, saying that we need it for car wash area because otherwise we end up using our car, washing our cars in the parking area. And leveling in parking area is not uniform and the slope is not correct. As a result, there's water accumulation happening in parking places. So she's proposing that we should continue to use it for car washing. There's another suggestion coming by another member. It's part of an email response saying that we continue to use it for car wash area, but that be a channel on the side where water regulation doesn't. So these are the 3 points to use that are coming. Any suggestions from online?
Yeah, repairing or replacing the floor tiles or replacing with something better, more long duration, right, is definitely useful. Car wash, if it is stopped here, then somewhere else, if there is an opportunity to do a car wash, that would be an option, or else we'll have to continue it. But replacing is okay. Yeah.
If we are spending on material for just like efficient, let it be used for. Because you're not trying to look at
Government tradings will still use it as a term. Yes, it will be continuing with
So the consensus is that we use spillage but not restricted to car running. Use it for car wash, maybe some way find the players.
Some sort of It's one point. I've been here 15 years. Car wash area over 15 years with the times are usable or not usable. I've been less than 20%. I would call it better than 10. More close to 10%. And I walk around the lawn. So I'm just making a point to the history of that car wash area is very, very, very good. Keep that in mind. Yeah, it's very true.
You put it on, they shift some of the benches, then sit in and capture. You didn't give us a choice for this house. So now I think there are suggestions we are coming now for which we have slide. So I think we have covered all these areas. There's just one more point we covered in the slide. What you see here is a washing basin on the exterior. Now, this is the gold exterior wall. We have beautiful tiles on the glass. Couple of years, I think 3 years ago, we had initiated the cleaning of tiles. The tiles today, the beautiful tiles are water today, and there is a water seepage. 3 years ago, when we did this with high pressure cleaning, etc., and when we had done the oxygen also in the gaps in the joint area, but somehow effectiveness has not come through. Unfortunately, that time we did not have technology which from the weight or the waste companies to come up with a damages and all of that solution. Yes, we did the water thing, but it's been 2019 that we did, and it's been about 6 years now, right? So it's time we did something like that. Now this has been a main area, the water seepage has been a main area for almost every year. Right? So the proposal is for the go-to tiles inside. We've checked out this Berger, Meadowlap, and Asian blooms. There is a damage solution that they have. And if we apply this, there's going to be a coating of damage, followed by another coating. And then they have a solution which will take care of the gaps between the joints, right? If this is done, that they are going to warranty of 1 year. That is something that we try and see if what is situations for relying for us.
2 questions. Is this for villas and all common areas?
Yes.
Yes.
And they've given a code for all of these areas that they pointed.
Yes. So the question is this 8.8 lakhs is a code for all common areas and all All walls, sounds very less.
And yeah, one of the house, even in the balcony, all that. But also water coming, they have also the area of the meter. Fine.
This is very important. So,
And some of us were engineering. That's we just read it and nothing else. Second case, issue things will be good. I would be just a little skeptical about the cost. And I've got small point, I visit common areas outside my house, between my house and the neighbor's house. There's a small gravel area, but it's pitch black. So I'm the several places is about cleaning the building.
So, the point is that this seems less, given that there's a lot of cleaning which is required. And we're talking about all related wherever we still based on this. So here, as a committee, we feel that this is an area which touches everybody and all walls. Since this is a slightly technical area, we would also want some advisors to come on board. We will reach out to you, maybe the ones that I've seen here and the people who are online. We're more than happy to form a committee to evaluate the solution and then take a call on whether we go ahead. So the thing is, I have a
The issue is then vehicles of school White House and so and I see anything releasing money. If you want to end with any effect, the natural view forward. At the same time, maintaining that requires more discipline to be able to give away the responsibility the way it is needed. It requires a more become sophisticated body once if you cross that, you are going to have the classes. But on the other hand, you paid by some it will depend on 20 years, nothing will happen. But you have lost the beauty of the naturalism.
I'm learning from mine, learn from time. I think the complete thinking, straightening, and cleaning, and I think the old of a natural civilization. It has a kind of compassions. And it's almost like 10 years, 7 years, 8 years. There is no fungus which is wrong. But I needed at the time I had to be a person branding, the writing code, then a clear code on top of it.
So we have two things coming in, one from a chemical product company owner, Ravi himself, was there on the chip, right? We saw the slide. So this point of view is that there's a national committee for it, and in order to maintain national community versus what kind of people that's probably have to balance it out. We have Mr. Rahul who has come, who recently moved there and who's running with his house.
Yeah.
Recently, and the team has some suggestions for this, what I've done, and this seems to be working. The point is, what we're proposing as a committee is we need to address this, and this is the cost, right? Now, which solution will work extra? I think we need expertise from it here, and we've reached out to you. Where this decision will be taken. So is that only in principle if you agree with this point, we will go ahead as far as execution is concerned, we definitely need more people on board. To be competent, the only thing is that these that 8.8, you will take the approval from our members for hire, because if it goes beyond that, you have another execute. So you're just not taking approval. So taking approval, you can go based on what Mr. Rahman spent. Take that in the form and at least take a higher because we do not have to have an SGM to start with. That's all the point is the points are critical and it's important that we do it. How we do it in discuss later. Take a higher amount. So the suggestion is everybody here agrees that this point needs to be addressed. If everybody is okay to take a higher figure instead of 8.8 layer 15 lakhs. And get the approval, and as far as the distribution is concerned, then we don't have to come back to you with an SGM on the spot. Is that okay with everybody? Yeah.
I'm specifically want to learn manufacturing, which present to the community. Number one is the STP. The STP is the back shade.
Sorry to interrupt. Can we take this up towards the end? Because we completed agenda. Right. So there one proposal is 15, another is 20 lakhs. Please suggest what number should we go ahead with the 20. Okay, so those of you who are online, the consensus coming here is let's take 20 as an appointment for the waterproofing of external walls. And execution we will involve people like when I can go Johnson this year. Who would that be? Is that clear with everybody? People online.
External walls, I am considering only the small portion of cement portion.
Exterior or something. Or exterior. The walls as beautiful walls. Because I guess walls are it's a thing. So that can be in between here maybe surface. So if okay, we have somebody in the chat. Replacing of the floor tiles for area used for car wash, long line. Some thank you so much, Vivek. So with this, I all the points in agenda 6 have been taken into consideration. We're saying waterproof tiles, 20 lakhs. Car wash area, car wash to be permitted, trimmings to be done, okay with it. Changing rooms, not approved. As of this year, next year they came in. Outdoor showers is okay. Swimming pool, floor tiling, okay. As far as steps and waterproofing, etc., all that can be reviewed, provided it's the budget amount. And water pressure tanks is a must. This is the summary of agenda point number 6. Do we have people who can propose and say? This is done. Who's the propose? Kera has proposed. And Russell has seconded. Okay. Vincent was the one switch. Was it still nice? The question is, does Jensen have an switch? Yes, there is an which was change. So this is as far as agenda since it's concerned, these expenses will be taken from the repair and maintenance fund. Moving on to the next agenda point. Agenda number 7. To get approval for making the society user-friendly, safe for very developers. We had 80 residents staying here about 4 years ago. Today we have a total occupants here 24, which includes owners as well as seniors. Interestingly, the demography has also changed. There are younger children, right from toddlers to people who are teenagers to senior citizens. So we have a wide demography now. As a result, what we are proposing is these 3 agenda points in this. Ramps and rails, we have steps at different places and which are required to have ramps and railings is necessary. So for which there is a cost being proposed. What you see here is we have the kind of steps. So railings at these different step points. When we enter the society, we have long steps on either side, but there are no ramps. So should there be a need for a stroller to be brought down or for a stretcher to be brought down, we don't have this. So the proposal is that we take ramps and railings across these areas what you see as pointed here in the picture. The second point is walkway with plain tiles, such that it is easy for people to carry strollers, wheelchairs, and so on. The picture that you see here is in between the entrance, the garden area, we have path here that can be utilized And instead of these corporate flags, and we have plain flags and we put such that it's easy for a usability of wheelchair and strollers. That is the second one. Let me just pause here before I go to the first one. Yeah.
Basically, most of our stories, the woman's book and its lasting for several thousand years. Number two, so this aesthetic feelings of society. It gives you good living. I only say don't break, you're proposing to break this. So it costs, remove this and don't play times. I would say just for scrollers, I don't know that's possibly by one comment. Be careful of that. And also, can I make a point from it? Even before doing that, for the last several years, even today, our drivers us the walk playing that is still broken. I know some of them repair it. For the years we don't able to repair them, even today. I'm only requesting that's a safety angle. So we don't all break the rules. And suspecting also. Such existing types that we have, let's have a program to get those repaired. It costs nothing. It's flexible amount. Those of it are suspected. And make sure that happens every few months, each month, then the whole thing, the document can look at whether the lives are broken. Yes, the cost is nominal. But the damage is huge in terms of anybody falling.
So the next point is that these corporate types have been there, they last long, they look beautiful aesthetics to the society, etc. The current types which are there, let's make sure that they are being repaired. Yes, somebody else had it.
So along with this, there are some of the broken backbone.
Somebody else.
Those are covered. Yeah, only my.
So that you want me to say something? Okay. So that was one thing. The point is, we definitely maintaining the existing size of muscles. Some of them we have to have some sort of see, we've been asking this for years about. If you go, just as we come out of the parking lot of number 9 and 31, the lights are literally not there, it's not so that. The point is there has to be some way by which we monitor this. We've been talking, we've been taking around 200 people get taken around showing you. Point it has to be existing tariff indicators in the master. It's very bad. And it's not happening. It's not happening. And it is not happening. Or I think we need sort of know this. Since the question right now is this. What is being proposed? There is this box that you see here. When we can convert that into the walkway. That is the question, such that strollers, wheelchairs can come in. Otherwise, currently on these lines, on these corporate lines, getting strollers and wheelchairs is a so there is that is where all the proposal is. The point is a wheelchair, for example, is someone else coming from a hospital. It's not possible otherwise. You can bring the car right in front and strollers, there are enough places in the other areas where you can take a stroller. We not but there is a car. I think what is more this is to have the village on the steps so that people don't fall. And on the land, if the stairs are broad, part of it like they do in the hotels can be done for pushing the wheelchair or a trolley. You know how they do it in the hotels. You have a hotel. This is quite high. I'm not sure whether that will work. Just like so the feeling coming here is walkways not necessarily right now. There are other areas where strollers and wheelchairs can be taken. As far as railings are concerned, no please about it, okay with railings. As far as ramps are concerned, again, here I would like to say that Here also we would like to get somebody, involved from the residents. And, in principle, if you are in agreement with the ramp, then we can go ahead with ramp approval. And when it comes to execution, we have 2, 3 members also coming on board. And we look at it. So these ramps, if you see, when we enter the gate, on the right and the left, there are these steps. There's right? So after ramps there, or in future, not for if there is a requirement of getting somebody in a straight or somebody. Yeah.
And the same guy was like,
So, can I have, people, those who join your planning, whether you're okay with railings and ramps, let's start with that. Those who join us. I'm okay with railings and ramps. We're talking about an expense amount of 7 lakhs for railings and ramps. Samhita, you should look at the ramp, but then the 15 years we looked at it. The slope is so much, it's not possible. I think the way suggested gives is on this as small level, just take that, just at least for one person, we take it up or something.
And actually, it's just something really most like that, it's both
That, it's really looked at.
both places. What would you can decide over the north? Yes, and what would the million and.
These options,
Actually, something that's how there is a, that they have to put chair on the rail. That is something. Yeah. So in principle, that's here. That's your, really, I enjoy some hope for the mind. What I do explain on the kind of a very nice chair. You have a railing, and have the chair, it's wonderful. So in principle, everybody is in agreement with that. And if it is okay with you, if you can approve the amount, what kind of ramp should it be? Should it be the one which some houses have here, as in a seat which slides up and down, or should it be a lift? Or what form, that can be,
This cost will be also.
that cost will be taken. So,
I would like to I'd like to put it differently, I'd say, we consider is the ramp really required? And you could alternate this, don't go ahead with a ramp, like how my advice. I think if everything, I know that, but I'd say. I would say.
Yeah, I have an input here, right? Vivek here from Unit 23. Right. What I've observed is there is no way if I have to take a wheelchair towards my house, right? Because there are stairs on the right hand side and the main entrance, as well as there are stairs from the basement, right? So there is no option available for somebody to bring a wheelchair to the house ground floor or to the house main entrance, right? So at least having the main entrances as soon as we enter the society after the security gate on the left and right hand side, at least those should have they should be wheelchair accessible, right? So that we can take people, and that would also help somebody who is taking a walk around the society. Just input.
Sure. Completely agree. I think the need for that is there. Nobody's questioning that. The how it's now being discussed. Whether it should be the conventional ramp, like a cemented thing, or there are newer technologies which are coming. That is not the same. So point taken, thank you, Vijay. Okay, I'm going to ramps inside of this meeting. Any other views? But what sort of you need to do if that way, so this all you do it is clear for us. Because you have to first get the solution and or take some higher number. What is the amount you have taken this? So, so the suggestion is
Basically, we got an approximation costing about 7 lakh, and we gave copy utilization for the lifts and some platform rates. That was not feasible and Shashank is not able, Shashank has definitely talked to the that was not possibility for area everything. What we are proposing is the ramp on both sides. Also, you enter the society on the right hand side, like there is a picture. That was this is the right side once you enter the ramp. So from that wall, it is visible. We construct the ramp.
Break those walls. Break all.
No, you know, there is a wall. Wall will be there. And along the wall, the ramp is designed.
The staircase.
See, like
there's
this.
a wall here, there's a wall here, so you design a ramp along the wall, such that there is minimal change.
And secondly, to this retaining wall from the other side, that is the left side of the society as you enter. To the density.
Cements, yeah.
We find the solution that this chair.
The chair is a good this up. And if we get a bigger chair for bigger people like me, so and they say we can also. So we can get the extra and go back to the.
We can connect that chair with that particular unit so that it will move along.
So the suggestion, point taken, there are these suggestions. Now is there, Vivek was mentioning that there could be not just a chair requirement, it could be a wheelchair requirement, right? That the person may need. So point taken, here is a suggestion. If you're an advocate of keeping 10 lakhs as proposal, we will explore all these various ways of looking at it. With some more people on board, for this purpose, should there be a need for beyond 10 lakhs, then we reach out to you for the next year, but otherwise something there. Is that okay? At least lawyers people to use the gym, so we go to use the picture. Is that okay with people? Okay. Another suggestion which is coming from is for let's say subject more so that you don't need a wheelchair. Something that just one suggestion. The last suggestion, if you see a lot in Europe and all, on obstacles there are wheelchairs in the worst comes to worst, instead of spending on the ramps and bridges, why don't we, in the society can keep this like kind of chairs or something which is not very expensive. And let it down if someone wants it. We can do that thing also. Sure. There is one last point in this agenda, which is the bandstand area. What you see here behind, we have a bandstand which is a different staircase. The suggestion is why don't we level it so that we can use it for larger gatherings. Today, if we have to have a gathering, we don't have anything at one level. So that was the proposal. Any thoughts here? I think this, if I'm not mistaken, the earlier mentioned council also had considered this. But I would love to hear from you. The structure is not strong enough. If you fill in the sound house that is down, it has got another foundation. Right? That's not possible. You cannot carry that much load. And actually, what we have done out here today, it's something like that. If anybody wants to hold some, not from the small functions, and our houses are large enough. Honestly, 7.5 lakhs is yeah. This is not stopping nothing. Okay, so for the benefit of all of you, the suggestion is that we have large houses, currently we holding this meeting in this hall, station hall in the clubhouse. Let us start using that before spending more on the issues. There is also technical, point we mentioned here that structurally, the foundation is not so strong to bear its weight. So there is a loading, technical issue there. This was evaluated last year, I mean 2 years ago when some rooms were made there. So that is the problem. So unless there is any other thing coming from me, please join online.
Then because of the very common place, most of the nation like this. Getting that. Studies about the last, the people part house to the jobs. And it's like it's a little place of that area, one is just
In consulting time, as far as agenda 7 as far as agenda 7 is concerned, I'm just recapping what has been agreed upon. Ramps and ratings in principle is okay. We captured at 10 lakhs as an approval. There will be more vendors who will come in to evaluate the proposal. Should there be a need to go beyond 10 lakhs, you will reach out to point AGM. Second point, walkway with plain tiles, etc. Let's evaluate different mechanisms if that can happen. So that is okay. As far as my stand is concerned, currently the need is not filled. It is good to have, but not necessarily right now. We have this current hall where we have to AGM. Let's not using that. Also, from a technical structural point of view, there is a place we are not capable. So that is where that stands. Is this okay? I saw it. I think the suggestion of which we here all the that is a proposal.
And they are walking with that, and I thought, one for the 1 CD, 2 CD, 5 lines.
That is not possible. It's not possible. Okay. So the point is that below this walkway that you see, there is a 1.5 crossing. So maybe maybe breaking as these times is not an idea. But if there is something a ramp, a walkway which can be created above it, that should be okay. Like without structure.
Access to
For wheelchair and strollers.
because access to maintenance of maintenance.
So there are quite a few resolutions about walkway. So walkway is not okay. Bandstand is not okay. Ramps and railings is okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
We also take care of it. Can you go to area? But it's normal ground, right? It's not private.
So who is proposing and seconding this? So Beta is proposing agenda number 7. Who's seconding? Chaya is seconding. Sorry, I don't know. Yeah. Great, thank you so much. So this is the closure of agenda number 7. Now given this diagram, what we had reached out to you earlier was the proposed maintenance charges to be brought down. Earlier it was 1.17 lakhs for the year. We had proposed to reduce to 1.58 lakhs. Right? But this was a reality. How given the kind of expenses that we're talking about, at times we're into checking off that's probability or it's not happening. So it's a marginal thing. We're wanting to take it back to the earlier times, which is basically 12,000 feet a year. And feet. So go back to 1,72,000. And go ahead with the.
Yeah, but then the rest can all be from the building.
But they have a one-time payout.
But you should keep them until it's at the same thing, 170. Yeah, don't reduce it. Because then we find it next year.
So I have one time, everything I have to, for another bill, just like to check.
Okay. Yes, somebody else was saying something.
Are the common expenses related to upgrading or replacing will be taken from the sinking fund, or is it going to be taken from the AMC?
Not from the regular.
Not from the regular maintenance.
Building repair.
Building repair.
Okay.
Schedule there is a already covered in this way. Okay.
So 170.
So 172, point, yes, remains the same, no change. It's proposing. Somebody have not paid that. Last year's, yeah. So we have Mr. Rohan proposing the second. So, just, okay, so Mr. Rahul is second, and who's proposing? She is proposing. Okay, now the point here is, there will not be, continue with 1.17 lakhs. The rate of payment will be 15th of November. If you remember, the AMS address has mentioned that there's a QR code scan now available, so it would just be much more easy for us to go ahead and pay. Urge you to all, please go ahead and pay because it's a lot of non-value added time and effort which goes into following up with people on paying. So 1500 for this is a good time. It takes us about 1.5 months, 2 months, almost 2 months, to pay out. So that's a logical question.
Have something. Regarding the estimate, it is going
Yeah.
lack of maintenance, very much. And the training workers, unlike during the rainy season, all go to training to the. We have, we could stay there, whole night, spend up so bad and on,
Sorry about that.
and too much mosquitoes, I mean, that entire place, it's a very good sea area. Which needs to be done, because I will suffer there.
We should give us definitely, permission of the chair was there to be taken up. The next point, and I think this is the last point that we have as an agenda point. Given the kind of people now, the number of people who have come in, people are looking for more touch points with the families, more interaction, etc. So these are some activities which have been suggested by different people from the society. And we did a poll on the WhatsApp.
And you should bring in more extras.
More youngsters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be, yeah. I never said the others. So that I'm bringing with a new idea. Let's say, there is some sort of weekend, but there are some sort of. I mean, this is a complaint from the extras.
Absolutely. Now, so what is being proposed here, this is a poll, and the response to the poll is that yes, we should have this formula and we are not leaders, you have to lead it. Okay, so the poll said that 90% of the people, of the 52 respondents, say that we should have Dasara Mela festival celebrations. That use this facility where we currently conducting the AGM, use it for movie nights, IPL viewing, game nights, etc. Of course, all within legal boundaries when we are talking games. Library book club suggestion where everybody has read books and there could be a possibility of carving some space in the society where there could be a library free access to people. Health camps and blood donations. We've got a couple of doctors now as and we've seen, Dr. Ashwini is doing the health camp. And travel out every year. In fact, this is the first time that I recall that there's no slide on people trekking. Otherwise, every year we have someone taking away. So looks like business is doing well, but otherwise, travel is near the area, which people have said that they must have. these are options, right? You have responded to the option. So, any suggestions or comments?
Let me provide the space.
Yes, so we need the space. So the idea is that let's start with what we have. All these things can be done with this. As far as Western Mela is concerned, since we have a very structural issue in that space, we may not be able to do the lifestyle area right now. But given the step approach that we have, it would be nice to have the data there. So obviously, the stuff data, you will go there and fix or something. So what will put that's not made out is. So as far as this meeting agenda is concerned. As far as this meeting agenda is concerned, what we would like to propose is if we can get volunteers who can, they could, it could be a festival club. Or people who they decide what exactly we want. Whether we want to do alcohol, whether we want to have food, we want to have a meal, what is it that we want to do? That the company can decide. Why don't we find together about the success of the babies gathering every month? When you first meet it, I mean, at least there's the men always want to join, but they have done nothing about it. So there are quite a few personal comments which are going in. It is an encouraging response. Exactly. But what is there? One time for everyone join our lives. As a suggestion, is that we have a youngsters. What is also coming in as a suggestion is given that we have a lot of them, so the next generation also now living here in the society, why not add them into the available WhatsApp group so that they are aware of what's happening and they can also get them.
So anybody has question? Yeah.
So can we take in volunteers for any of these engaging activities? Okay. Maybe we raise a whole WhatsApp call and maybe it's just that people send it to Robin. Whoever wants to add, send it to Robin. Yeah. So those of you who are interested in volunteer, please share your names with Robin. Robin will reach out to set communication also. Please respond to that and I think we should do it. Are we okay with this agenda proposal and second? Yes. So everybody wants to propose and second, then we have one thing. So Muzaffarji proposing, seconding. Manini seconding. Right. So with that, in case there are any other agenda points, by the permission of the chair, there is one point which was discussed earlier, as an ad hoc provision of an emergency fund of 5 lakhs. This was discussed in the earlier AGM, but was not carried forward. So this is what I'm like to propose, where we continue with the same practice.
I have one solution along my data on the front page where the garden is set. Because of the garden, the entire house to reach is very important. And every second will have to be taken in account. So society has to do something. We don't want to see on that job and love. Any of the people we do. Because the water is not that even free the garden. So along the cost selection down time to take over that and so and it's not free. We say you have to be okay, and I cannot do anything for the easy.
Sure. So, if it's okay, we should we go ahead with the draft fund of 5 lakhs? Next, continue to buy practice?
Yes, sir.
No. Okay, I've got one last point. Gujarati, have you any funds to yourself, or is there something which you want to mention?
Nothing specific, yeah.
Now, as the society is changing, we have to spend a lot of money on materials and repair. Can all the members of this now, if you see the total of this, it's not like 30, 40 lakhs. Can we have the manager giving us every month to the committee members, maybe a little more detail, but at least to other members, a simple scorecard, which lists the points that we have taken over before, and just have a red, amber, and green dot, which shows the it's in progress. Absolutely, or it is the and then we can give them far more risk, but at least all members who have approved these 40-50 lakh expense, at least know every month that yes, this is at least happening or not happening, it's in progress now.
So they can this.
There must be all the sums, so we know why this project has been also 6 months. So there was an action which came out. These are suggestions which have come up in response to the points that you have. One is mosquito and rodent control. So we've asked this doing internally on mosquito and communication needs. But there are seasons where
Yeah, you have the JV between one so what everybody you the JV card is saying that just on one side of one. I would fix the day. Whatever days it is, I would say, especially monsoon, the risk twice a week is the bare minimum required. I mean, that is the, and you don't know the change of mosquito measures people. Because once it comes in the room, it becomes a problem.
Okay. So as far as mosquito is concerned, the frequency needs to increase and
So we know, and it's announced to everybody. So the whole society knows that it's happening on this day. Because you say Tuesday and Friday, Monday, whatever days, I don't know, the hospital don't mind the days. You fix the days, fix the times, and make sure it's done on that day.
So the suggestion is that whenever this plan, please announce it on the okay. And please so that we know that the frequency is not. Point taken, the other point which also discussed is now all these agreements that we receive, we need a product tracker, sometimes it's an update with a regular will be update. So that was a point well taken. When this is the behavior change for manager, so why the as you said that, this is something that we will try will habituated. All of us, which also means that there's a lot of time and effort that we also need to put in to make sure that I require volunteering for this.
Any plan for energy saving?
So there's volunteer like that basically have to require for us that anything. Sure, thank you so much. So that is what we will go ahead to. As far as there was another point in the suggestion that what is happening to the approach roads towards Rohan Madhuban Co-operative because of the kind of construction that is happening. It's starting to come water issue. So when we take it up to the PMC, but PMC currently is completely non-committed. They're saying that whenever the construction does come on, let you know when is it likely to come on video, and it's only subsequent to the construction starting is when the road widening will happen. So unfortunately, the only thing that we be able to do is responsible.
You can all the parking on the side. So
yeah, they had 2 points. Yeah, I believe there is no active committee there. When committee is dissolved and it is for registration. I have registered two. And the second one, so road is a private road that belongs to road government. So PMC will not do anything regarding no parking or anything to do with parking. So if we want PMC to take care of that parking issue, we will have to hand over that road to PMC, if we are not willing as of now. So these are the 2 points. So let's just on benefit of Yeah, the envelope footprint was not in outside, which is outside of Rohan Madhuban. That locates the cars you park and accessibility to Rohan Madhuban is a challenge. But there are two things. In fact, earlier management committee had also taken it up with Rohan Madhuban management committee. So number one, they tried putting the plant plots along the path, so that people will not park, but then that will not bother the people, and we started parking outside. So there is further less space available to place the car. Second is PMC said that you cannot put a no parking area for this private for better regulation. The third point is, at least last year we had the management director for this. This year, the Rohan Madhuban management was all and the registrars will be on. This is where the country stand.
So, not more than 2 also.
Let us say it belongs to both the society status. Can we request them for the in and out gate to switch?
To hand over that or PMC. Then be able to manage.
But we can go. Basically, as far as Rohan Madhuban is concerned, currently we don't have any increased staff, we don't have a solution there. Follow the next point is additional water tank. I think we have addressed that. Pathway tile cleaning, we have addressed that whatever is the current maintenance is not happening and no, this is for the tile cleaning. We have a
This is the water jetting system.
right. So this tile cleaning is a high water pressure system. During monsoon, unfortunately this year, PMC water supplies are being a huge challenge. So that's why society hospital was instructed not to use water for period because they only were calling tankers. But point taken, we have to increase the frequency. In fact, one proposing is in a staggered way, such that it happens through the year and at one point in time there's not excessive consumption.
I have one question. STP water up to this now, are you using it? And for
Yes, use for watering the retaining amounts. So you could also raise some points. So mention something about solar.
I said, any banks for conservation of energy like Indian law and something like solar power, individual banks or individual assets, I mean, timing it or any. Ultimately, as obligation, we must bring down the energy consumption as.
Solar panels are already in place for common.
That is individual pillars.
No, it's
all that is. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the reason we have risk investment. And there is no chance to increase those panels right now.
It's clear what it is, sorry. It's only 2018.
So the suggestion of solar panels. And there is no scope to increase solar panels.
And we get from the
That is one of the points. Mr. Rahman, there was one more question you had which I asked you to come towards the end. What was it?
one is the STP, the area is very dark. Second is like one situation with the.
So it's been addressed.
Yeah. And the entrance to the land, the pathway, the parts of building that everything is nothing outside, then they relook at. As an old man, I sometimes. And the ramp.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anything else that you think will make sense?
There is also a backbone there, a cover that should be replaced.
Sure, next time. Last, Egypt had decided to focus on for the Media. The Nidesh also is even out of the hospital. He is very serious. He is not able to sleep. He had asked me to put this point of the and from my side also the point is there. We had come to 1% of the way to the small of windows. So that the disturbance will be less. But that has not happened. So I don't take it down because it's disturbing. Otherwise, it's not.
I'm a dog. My wife is gone. I love dogs. I would do any dog. Like some of the dogs, the dog handlers don't touch the dog. The dog will bite you. So my only request is that the dog bark like a pig. They're walking outside. Simple thing. Then individual of dog as saying. Number of dogs are 1,000 times more in the population. Not one dog barks from the living. The right train. So either they need to be trained or you need to put a muscle. And so why do you raise some of the dogs like this? A muscle like this, a good way to be strong or to safe and go barking through the noise. So this will go down.
But it is like they are the walk.
Yeah, this is what the walk. That's the second issue which is raising. But even while walking is
So more point in STP, the answers are not. I will if it's.
The point being raised right now, so China is responding on behalf of her and some other residents also. Agreement number 7, right? The 5 and 7. That dog walking is have to become a menace. This part of this point was discussed in last year's AGM as well. But dogs being placed outside in environment today and causes a lot of barking in noise for people, especially when houses have people coming back from hospital, going to hospital time and again. That peace of mind is required. As part of our agent discussion last time, we had taken this up saying that houses where there are many dogs, there are barking issues happening. We are recommending to put some doors and windows. So that is recommended because finally we one community, and I think it's very important that we take cognizance of these things. So while management community cannot enforce this, it does not fall in their purview. But management committee can definitely urge people, in fact, rather strongly urge people to make sure that how many ever dogs they want to be under animal welfare rights, we cannot say anything there. Because finally we are a harmonious society and we as management committee believe that we want to stay in harmony. However, it's the responsibility of the owner to make sure that this disturbance are not happening. And I think it's not a bad, this is responsibility. So I would really urge each of the owners, pet owners, to please take care of this. Because at no point in time we would want we would want our society to be brought under the radar of PNC or any external authority with a complaint saying that my next door neighbor is monitoring us. That's the last thing we want, we don't want to run on anybody, any external authority. So really urge each one of you. Anybody on
I propose what I think is sometimes too, we will organize a special meeting for all those owners who have pets. We will discuss one-to-one, heart-to-heart, person-to-person, and we sort of identify a way.
Yeah.
And when the tenants come, now you are interviewing the tenants and all, please avoid tenants bringing 10 dogs together. At least that kind of work. If you want to in this swimming pool and the dogs are constantly barking.
One dog doesn't like it. So I'm gonna have one person. I'm gonna I call the dog. I get I stop dogs.
Dogs stop.
Fine. Yeah.
So they can chance okay,
last 30 seconds.
yeah, I'm just yeah, which will be a very good point. They mentioned about the different asset family with the I understand that you can and provide other solution. That is the only thing that is remaining now to you find.
The security of that is that. Now what happens then security comes up from Dubai. Instead of that, you have to migrate to then as soon as security comes on your environment, you can move it comes to the country. Whether it's a better, whether it's faster, or it's a journey.
Last week I explored this my dear
We found the missing places
so there's also security concerns. That's the reason we are not going directly my area similar. So the situation was just small and it's on the column that then less the situation is that we are needing to migrate equivalent app for our society so that it comes to one is running and going out. But last managing committee had explored this option and they said that there is data litigation rights to data license relevant. So that's the reason why it was not really considered. Any other points of view? I think we've, as far as the agenda points are concerned, we have addressed this before we close. Any points of view?
Point is comment. I like the opening remark where you talked about having it for the society point of view, so all the facilities point of view, everybody in place and what we will require for it. So I thought that is a very good point. And so I think that into that and then start planning for that. So good idea.
And otherwise the meeting was
No, I mean, the fact that you had a live meeting was amazing. Very good.
now we have very good biryani there ready for us.
Yes, very at close quarters. Okay, so when you just read out where I have mentioned thank you and provide efforts, appreciate this new hybrid mode. So for that Asian it was only in Chicago. Thank you so much, Uday, for coming in and good night.
You're
okay,
welcome.
Thank you so much. There's an advantage of people coming down from Chicago there. There's biryani being arranged, so next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Katie was saying, hosting 18. Thank you so much for hosting this AGM dear committee. We are ready to use for staying at this wonderful place. And we will hope to have suggestions in the time to come. Must admit there's hardly anything that we disagree with. Thank you, Katie, and Lakshmi, our events from the society. Looking forward to your participation in the engagement activities. You the younger couple, younger than us. Look forward to that. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you everyone.
And thank you everyone. With this, we close the AGM for today. Thank you. Please send your pictures of the biryani. On behalf of all of us here, thank you very much. Thank you.
We can't do it.
Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Saul.
तुम्हाला मस्त